All right, we got a new one in today. This is Chewy. As you can see, Chewy is a wild and crazy chocolate lab. And I'm going to show you how I kind of get these wild, crazy puppies going. How I start them out. You can see he's jumping all over me. He's got no manners. He's a wild man. And first off, we're just going to start with a little bit of regular. We're going to ignore all that jumping. Good. Just going to start randomly rewarding him. Good. For greeting me with a sit. Good. All right. So the first thing, I'm kind of speeding through this, but I'm going to get him up on an elevated surface so I don't have to lean over so much. I'm rewarding him for just sitting here nice. I'm not telling him what to do. I'm just letting him kind of go through different behaviors and catching that behavior and rewarding it. We're going to lure him into it down if we can here. Sometimes this takes a little bit. Boom. That's what I want. I want those elbows on the ground there. We'll lure him into a sit. Lure him back down. Good. Come over here. Good. Now I haven't given him a command or a cue or anything. You're going to have to kind of be tough with these puppies a little bit with your fingers because they will start biting at your fingers. But what you don't want to do is start doing this kind of stuff and giving the food with your fingertips. Call those PetSmart fingers. I kind of want to use my hand and almost push against his nose a little bit to coax him in. Nope, coax him into these spots. And you see how he's trying to get in my bag. Good. One thing about these labs, two things, when I get them, I can almost guarantee they're going to be wild and crazy when they're little puppies, but they also are chow hounds, meaning that they normally 99.9% of the time they have great food drive. Now we've done this a couple dozen times now, and we'll see if he just kind of starts going through the motions. See how he's already going into it down pretty quick. But you want to do this very, you notice I'm rewarding a lot here. So the reason I'm really pushing on the down command is because there's no better position for a hyper crazy dog to be in, really, is in a down. And you notice when he was trying to jump on me, all I'm doing is moving away from him, so he's just getting nothing but air. And every time he sits his little butt on the ground, he's getting rewarded. I'll even reward him for that. Because that right there, him picking up that toy and bringing it over here, what's that? That's a fetch or a retrieve. Look at that. He's already catching on. This is his first session. See if we can get him to go into a down. A lot of times with these puppies, it's easier when they're in a sit. Good. Good. And all I'm using is dog food. Good. So now that he's starting to get this, we'll start naming that, what he's in. Down. Sit. Good boy. Down. Sit. Good. Down. Sit. Down. Down. Good. Sit. Down. You see how I'm giving these treats? I'm kind of cupping his whole muzzle with my hand and just literally pushing that food into his mouth. Good. One thing about it is you can't have a phobia of dog slobber. Good. Sit. Good. Down. Good. Sit. He's a really good looking puppy. Down. Good. Chewy, come. Good. Sit. Good. Down. Good. Down. Good. Down. Good boy. All right. So that's kind of how I start these puppies off. Or not kind of, that is how I start the puppies off. And I don't go for a long periods of time with them. Just lots of multiple, and he's jumping on me again right here, trying to get in this food bag. Look at that. I don't correct that. I just ignore it, and he gets nothing out of it. And eventually they just start. Chewy. Good. So that's the name of the game with these little puppies. Getting them to start working for the food. Do it when they're hungry. Don't do long, drawn out training sessions because they don't have a very long attention span when they're this age. So keep it short, sweet, always end on a positive note. Doesn't matter if it's only 5 successful reps. That's good. Then stop and come back in a little bit and do it again. Because if you make the sessions too long and to where they're getting frustrated and you're getting frustrated, then that's a failed session. So I'd much rather have 3 minutes of successful reps rather than 45 minutes of frustration. Period. So, look at this little guy. Good. So right there, he brought that to me, and that's another thing. When you're teaching your dog, if you want your dog to fetch, but they go get it and then they play keep away from you. So if he does that, let's see what he does here. Well, he didn't do it. If I would have reached down for it and he would have tried like running away, then just trade him the item for food. Get them used to, they have to drop that item to eat the food. And when they get up close, they smell the food, they're gonna want the food more than the toy in their mouth. You can already see the little wheels in his head turning of what's going to get him that food. And it's not jumping. He's going to go straight in. Yep. I can tell by the look on their eyes what they're going to do now. Do this for long enough, you can pretty much predict how they're going to behave. And he'll do it here in just a second. Good. And you notice when the tail gets wagging real fast, he's getting excited and he's probably going to pop up. Maybe. Or he'll stop wagging his tail. Good boy. He's giving me eye contact, which I love. So in just 14 minutes and 40 seconds, you saw at the beginning he was jumping all over me, acting crazy and being a nut. 14 minutes we've done this now. So that's how fast it can go. You just got to do it. Do exactly what I did with any little puppy and you will see the progress. Look at this. All righty. We'll see you on the next one. Toodles.